Hi everyone, thank you for coming to the session. In my session, I'm explaining the project management in Agile. So my title is the strategy and examples of the enterprise-wide organization. First, I would like to briefly introduce myself. So nice to meet you. I am Yoko Michi. I'm a senior manager of the Effective Team and Delivery Department. My background: my first career was engineer, followed by engineering manager, product manager, project manager, scrum master in Agile coach, and so on. Also, for some activities for the public, I have been organizing lots of the conferences, such as the Product Manager Conference, Regional Scrum Gathering Tokyo, Agile Leadership Summit, and Scrum Masters Night. So they are mostly focusing on Agile. This is my background, and now I'm working as a senior manager for this department, which educate the people about the Agile and Scrum. So this is today's topic. I'm going to explain these 3 items. The first, the purpose and the strategies of our departments that supports all teams and the members in the company, and followed by explanation about examples and line. Also, I would like to give you more examples how I am managing my team. First, purpose and strategy. This is the organization chart of my department and the teams. As I mentioned, yes, effective team and delivery department is under direct control of the CTO, and that department has 2 teams. I would like to explain one by one. First, about my department. I believe this name is difficult to remember, but there was some visions or ambitions why I named this one. So we would like to enhance effectiveness in team operation and the delivery process operation. So they are the mission behind this team's name. And the first one under the department is Delivery Management Team, or DMT. The members are technical managers. Of course, you might imagine that this is something like the PMO. So I would like to touch up on this later. So DMT, standing for Delivery Management Team, the members are technical project manager. I would like to share the beliefs or the mindset of them. So here, the technical, that means the managers who have the tech background. So you can understand them as a project manager. So sometimes I will be calling them as a TPM. First of all, to be extreme in our belief, the project manager are not necessary or not necessarily required. On the other hand, of course, in order to successfully deliver project management, that action or initiative is very, very important. Therefore, the TPMs are installing the action of the project management into various projects and teams in the company. I believe this is a little bit abstract, therefore I would like to give you some more specific examples. Let's say, please imagine there are 3 major components for product development. First, the product management to research market, find opportunity, and UX design. To define the products, this is the product management. And also, the second one, scoping, the scheduling or risk management as the project management. And the development, to develop the actual software or the quality assurance. So this is the development process. So there would be the 3 components. The simplest way would be that each component would be played by each role. So different person, different role for each component. In other words, product management will be done by the product manager, and the project management will be done by the project manager, and the development will be done by engineers or QA testers. In some cases or projects, there would be some overlapped parts between the product management and project management, such as scope management. And of course, some project has no project manager but done by the product manager. And vice versa, sometimes the engineers or QA tester could play a role as a project manager, for example. This would be also a very common case. Or, so regardless of the components, everyone will be cooperatively working as and covering all these components, regardless of their title. So as I mentioned on using the previous slides, of course each component requires some specific work, but it does not mean that each component requires dedicated person. No. In particular, the self-organization is a very important keyword. That means a team which can be working very autonomously. Under such circumstances, project management will be done by the members regardless of the title. And this is the kind of a situation that we are aiming for, but it's easy to be said than done. The project management or Agile, without the data knowledge, probably that project cannot do the project management. So it will be the very chaotic situation. Therefore, or to address that, the TPM are working together with the various teams or departments to solve or find issues. So we are experts of the project management Agile and supporting other teams and departments. Of course, for very complicated or big projects, sometimes a TPM will be working as a project manager for only short time of period in order to deliver the product and service successfully. But even in such cases, if everyone rely on the project manager, that would not work. Therefore, the project manager tried to create a situation where the people can work without project manager. So it sounds like very contradicting that project managers try to eliminate the necessity of that job. But from the lean perspective, actually the project manager do not add values directed to the products. Therefore, it's more important to focus on job that directly creates values. Because please imagine if most of the members of the company are the project manager, that would not work. It's better to the other members. Everyone can work as a project manager, project management jobs. Off the topic, if you think about this graph and diagram, if everyone can work for the other tasks, not only the project management, but also the other components, this is actually a very good situation. We would like to create such kind of situation. The next second team, the Lean and the Agile team. The Scrum Masters and the Agile coaches are the members of this team. The role of the Agile coach in line. We do not stick to any specific methodology of Agile, no. Conversely, but we do respect the values or the principles of Agile. I believe some of you have already read Manifesto for Agile Software Development that contains such as individuals' interactions, working software, collaboration, responding to changes. They are the basic principles and the values for us. Therefore, We do not say do Agile or do Scrum, or we don't say that your style is not Agile. No. In order to make improvement, yes, we will be using the principles or the practices of Agile. They are the brief introductions to these two teams. I believe you could find some differences between two teams. There is something common in terms of the belief of these teams is in order to successfully better the services, the products, we will be supporting the teams and the departments. But when it comes to differences between these two teams, it's the capability or expertise of the members. So whether you have the expertise in Agile or project management, and of course these two teams are working very collaboratively. And there is what we do and what we do not. So first, what we do not as an organization supporting all teams and departments. Of course, we are not making judgment or authorize any good, which is a good methodology or good process. No, and also that we have no intention to standardize the documentation or the process. Because honestly speaking, the kind of standardization could be the reducing the creativity or the productivities of the employees. Also, we are not compelling everyone to make the boring reports, which will be only valued by the top management. And then what we are doing is we are supporting the departments and the team to solve their problems and issues as experts. And also we are building the training or toolkits and the guides so that the other employees will be able to leverage these tools in sessions. And thirdly, we are now trying to build a community in which everyone will be learning by themselves and learning together. Until now, I've just briefly explained the objective and strategies. So there are key points. So we are not just project manager, but our focus is the project management as action. And also, we are not doing Agile, but being Agile. And we've never forcing or compelling everyone, but we are supporting and enabling to let everyone to leverage their full skills and capabilities. What I've said as our tasks, so they are main key roles for our department. I would like to see the dive into each topic and each pillar. First, providing training, guide, and toolkits. Because we are supporting all departments enterprise-wide, therefore, we would like to bottom up the basic understanding or knowledge of these topics. Therefore, on a regular basis, we having holding lots of training sessions, and also we are providing the sessions or training to each team subject to their own needs. This is not these training sessions are targeting to every one of the members, not only who are working as project managers. And the second pillar is supporting problem solving. As I already mentioned earlier, yes, our members are involved into the other teams. By doing that, we were able to collect and compile of success cases, what strategy or what methodology would work very well in what kind of a context. So we are able to accumulate this knowledge and expertise. Normally, we receive the requests from other departments, then we initiate a dialogue with the manager or some key stakeholders. Sometimes we carry out also survey in this phase, so that we will be able to visualize the issues, then carry out some experiments, and we are doing that repeatedly. For this part, we are not intending to pick up any specific solutions, but of course we are leveraging the expertise or knowledge of each member. So we are not providing the one-size-fits-all solutions, but a customized solution for each member or departments. Third, the building close learning community. So we are sharing our knowledge and experience horizontally. This is very important. Of course, we do not have enough resources to support all teams, all projects. Therefore, it's better to have a community where the people can learn each other and solve these issues by themselves. This diagram shows on the horizontally is the width of the organization, and the vertical line represents the maturity. So first we are providing training, a guide, and toolkits. Then we are starting working for the specific teams. Then sharing these knowledge or expertise to other teams, leveraging the capability of the community so that we can improve the overall knowledge or experiences company-wide. Going forward, I would like to explain more specific examples, which is related to the LINE News, so news-related service. Originally, so when we started to support this team, this is the organization structures with approximately 100 members. So they are just for your reference. Therefore, the detailed members or the structure are a little bit different from the actual ones. On your left-hand side, they are the members for the business or product planning, including the executive or senior managers, members. And on right-hand side, they are the teams for development. So they were divided into smaller teams by professions, server side to the client side or the QAs. And the manager were assigning the tasks to each member. There were several major issues. The first one is the increase in the lead time. So the productivity was not so good. Originally, they were starting working as like a startup, but as the time goes by, the lead time tends to be expanded. And the second one is because of the increase in number of the members, so there are more and more dependencies or the reliance on the managers and the leaders. This is kind of the common issues for bigger organizations or departments. I started initiation dialogue with these members. Then we set a goal and major objectives. First one is kind of an issue. So try to read the lead time, or in other words, time to go from concept to cash faster. Second objective was, as I mentioned earlier, try to reorganize our teams that will be very adaptive or responsive to the organization scaling up. So what kind of experiment we have taken? Actually, we are taking. Actually, there was one experiment. The first, transform the organization to small cross-functional teams and delegate authority to such each team. In other words, we try to create a self-organized and autonomous teams that create a big department. By doing that, the people can make the decision much earlier, and also the gap in the misunderstanding or miscommunication. And each team and member will be more independent from the manager or leaders. Then I would like to give you some how they have been working and how this experiment has gone. Our first experiment is, as shown on this slide, first for the dev side, we created a single cross-functional small team that included front-end, server-side, and QA tester, and also that included the product owner for the product planner, and also Scrum Master, who used to be a dev manager. Fortunately, this team worked very, very well. Therefore, we scaled it up to increase the number of such cross-functional small teams. On that phase, there were no traditional management roles. Then the managers became a so-called servant leader to encourage the teams to grow further. The next phase, actually, this is the current situation. We have now working on the business and the product planning departments. So this organization. Similarly, we created a small cross-functional team. So we hope it will work very well. Therefore, as the next phase, probably the backend, the business, or HR, so all these functions would be included in one small team, and that team will be delegated authority from managers. Then what would happen further? Because it's not my call or my judgment, but looking back to what they have done, so such as the reducing the lead time or other objectives, they are very, very working collaboratively. Therefore, probably they will be deciding to closing the distance between the business product planning and development department.
So now I'd like to talk about what we did in each step. First step, when we first started to support the team, we interviewed many key stakeholders and set the challenges. So what we did at first was to provide lean and agile basic principle training to managers and leaders. As I said earlier, we didn't talk about methodology. We explained basic values and principles of lean and agile and had them discuss together. As you can see on the left bottom, this is the image of 3 categories. So this is to apply to all the enterprise, but this is also applicable to one organization. So first, we conducted a bottom-up training to part of the team members. And fortunately, this was very well received. We are always getting feedback from our training participants using Net Promoter Score. To explain this briefly, we ask participants a question: how likely is it that you would recommend the training to your colleagues? And the result was that 3/4 of the participants scored 9 or 10, and the rest scored 7 to 8. So with the 10 as the highest score, the average was 9.1. So this went very well, and we started to feel that this idea needs to be spread to much wider audience. So we conducted another training to invite wider audience to take the same training at the same time in the same place. And in parallel, we also provided servant leadership training courses to managers and leaders. And the bottom left model shows that we conducted a training, the bottom-up training for all the members in the one organization. So this photo shows the training. So many people were gathered in the one room, and we provided a training where managers played a game and so forth. And we also got a feedback that this training was also well received. The score was 8.2 and 8.8. So everyone in the organization were on the same page and had the basic understanding of Agile. And then we went on to the next step to create a small team. So what we did basically was that, of course, we took the Scrum-like process. So we went back to the Scrum standard and think about what kind of training we could provide to them. And we decided to join many kinds of meetings to observe and give advice to the teams. And also we provide advice and feedback to them. It's not that we didn't do anything to the traditional organization. Those organizations also has to constantly evolve and improve themselves. So we started a regular Kaizen meeting or improvement meeting to lay the foundation for organizational enhancement. So we try to instill such habits in the organization. At the same time, we also provided support to business departments using Kanban method to visualize their tasks and workload. This is the photo during the workshops or the trainings. The regular Kaizen meeting on the left-hand side, and also the right-hand side is the Kanban adoption. So we have been constantly providing that support, and these were successful. So we entered a phase to scale a small team. So we established a successful example, and the constant improvement has been starting to take off. So we started to spread the same efforts across different departments and teams. So we need to provide support to new teams, but we cannot involve ourselves in every team. So we secure individual session to provide support or feedback to Scrum Masters. So as I said earlier, we embarked upon establishing a small team. So we joined the actual small teams meetings and gave feedback accordingly. And now we are planning to invite an external trainer to give a training to the team so that the participants get the fresh inspiration. So as I explained so far, there were many obstacles that we faced along the way, and many problems occurred. But every participant spoke up their own candid opinions. Sometimes we had a heated discussion, but we always tried and struggled and to make the team better. And this is the constant effort that we are doing. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen next. But what we can do is to facilitate discussion and experiment and have the participants learn from each other. As you can see on the left-hand side, once we get a successful story, we are going to spread it across different teams and departments. So as I said, we don't know how the things will turn out going forward. But the reason why we have been constantly experimenting is that the idea that this training and Agile approach was really good and beneficial, so that people wanted to spread or recommend to other people. So that is a very key factor. We never press people to change. We support them and enable. So that is the strong resolution of our efforts. So we always respect what the teams have been doing and is doing, and we listen to their voices, and we, as a professional, talk to them. And to repeat myself, we will never pressure them or force a set methodology to them. We give information as much as possible and let them do. In order to spread things, it's very important that the participants really like it. So we cannot go ahead of ourselves alone. I believe that that is always leading to a failure. So that is the conviction of us. So those are the examples that I wanted to share. And from now on, I'd like to talk about more concrete examples. First of all, I'd like to talk about our global view. Effective and delivery team is based in Japan, and we have similar teams across different countries with similar purpose. And we established a hub team to share the knowledge and create synergies. And this is called Project Management Round Table Task Force. So this is the backbone of this entire effort. And also the Project Management Evangelist, that is a global community. And we also have the Global PGM Training Working Force. So this is not a hierarchy. So this is a hub and spoke kind of approach. So these are the three categories. The project management agile training has been provided to the entire organization, and we talked about the principles and values of Agile and Scrum, and we also conduct the health check of the project and talk about the risk management or retrospective or provide the Scrum training. And depending on the challenges of each team and organization, we customize the training to them. For example, the training to learn from Scrum or to learn more while you are practicing Scrum, or if you are working with the outsourced companies, then what is the key points? So those are the examples of the training that we have been providing to other teams. So the team building support is very important when we first start to provide support to them. So that is to gain understanding with each other and also build psychological safety. So this is also the example of the support that we have provided. And this is also essential. In order to solve a problem on their own, it is very important to create an opportunity to continue to improve. For example, we are facilitating the discussion using open space technology or helping project retrospective or try to instill the regular Kaizen meeting into the team. The product team and the project team alignment is also the important area that we are supporting. The left-hand side shows the roadmap making. This is not a top-down roadmap making. Every team member participates in creating it. And also the inception deck on the right-hand side, that all team members get involved in discussing why this action is necessary and so on. And this is the Agile practice adoption support. The left-hand side is Kanban adoption, and the right-hand side is Scrum. So this is an example that we did in Taiwan. So we will not try to pressure them, but we will share the values and basic principles. Recently, we started to support management. The left-hand side, senior managers and managers got together in one place to be involved in the candid discussion. And the right-hand side, senior managers were sometimes held up with a lot of work. So we helped them to think about how they can improve and manage their workload more efficiently. So these efforts, it's called how to manage your workload more efficiently. And we wrote an article in the HR blog. So if you are interested in, please visit this website. And as for the in-house community, we conducted open remote lunch. So we connect remote offices to have a lunch together, and team members share their experiences and examples. Also, we conduct a tour so that different teams can visit other teams' Kanban practices. And we also have a Slack channel dedicated to Agile practitioners' efforts, and 250 people are in this channel to exchange opinions, information, and their concerns. So far, I have been discussing what we are doing and what kind of support we are providing to the organization. So now I'd like to talk about what our organization, our team is doing. First of all, this is just like a support. Our team also has vision, mission, and strategy, and get everyone on the same team. So quarterly, we have a team meeting to review vision and mission, to refine or adjust and check whether they are still relevant. And we also discuss what kind of actions is necessary for the next 6 months, and we create a roadmap together. And this is an example in Korea. They created a TPM manifesto. So this contains their value, standards, or belief. They discuss these things together and put it into a statement. So this is also for creating a direction or strategy. So that just like the support we provide to other organizations, it is also very important for us to understand with each other in our team. So we do an activities to disclose ourselves and discuss together to understand each other more to improve our capability. And then the Lean and Agile team, they are also practicing Scrum in their work because they are teaching Agile, so they have to also practice it. So they create a backlog and self-sign up and so on. And we are now promoting our own experiences and new approaches. So the learning session is very important as well. And we learn new things and then spread what we learn to other teams. So that's why we create a learning backlog and hold a learning session to learn from each other. And if we participate in an external event, then we will give the feedback to the internal team, or sometimes we conduct a book session. And we customize what we learn to better fit our organizations and teams. And this is also discussed and written in our tech blog. This is the communication tips. Actually, our team members are based in different locations. So it is not easy to have a casual discussion or chatting with team members regularly. So we regularly set a remote lunch time, and we have a rule not to talk about anything about work. And we just enjoy having lunch together. And we have a manager and member one-on-one meeting. But not only that, we facilitate the peer one-on-one meeting. And not the one-on-one, but we have a buddy approach as well. So that consists of 3 members, and they exchange candid opinions and learn from each other. So those are only some of the few examples that we are doing in our organization. And today, due to the interest of time, I could only share the high-level initiatives. So we have asked the speaker session after this one. So if you are interested in, please speak to me. And also the hands-on sessions is going to be conducted after 3:40. So if you are interested in, please visit our booth. Thank you very much for coming to this session. Technical project managers and Agile coach are the jobs that we are always recruiting. So if you are interested in, please visit our recruitment website. Please enjoy Line Dev Day. Thank you.